And so the bitter root then is attached to an experience of wounding or pain or something negative that's happened to us. But then you also mentioned then the inner vows that we make. So just talk to us and explain how the inner vows get attached to those bitter roots and the judgments then we make about the situation.
When someone hurts us, then oftentimes we'll begin to harden our heart through that resentment and unforgiveness. And sometimes we're tempted to judge them. We don't judge the behavior, what they've done, but we judge their identity. This is who you are. And we stand, in that place of judge, jury, and executioner, and we say, you are guilty, guilty, guilty. You are your sin. And we judge them bitterly. It's not an accurate assessment of what has happened. There's a bitterness in our heart, and we judge them. And we come to expect abuse, or we come to expect rejection or abandonment. And when those things are lodged in our heart, many times it just hurts, and that unresolved pain hurts. And so we go from our heart into the problem-solving areas of our brain, and we try and figure out how to avoid the pain, to medicate the pain, or just to get by life. How do I get through life with my heart hurting like this? How do I make sure I'm not hurt that way again? And so we make promises to ourselves. I'll never allow myself to be hurt that way again. I'll never trust. I'll never cry. I'll always be strong. I'll protect myself. Nobody takes care of me, so I'll have to take care of myself. Nobody's there for me. Nobody comforts me. I'll comfort myself. And so we make those promises, those determinations, and we call them inner vows. And we make them usually when we're young, when our personality is just being formed. And they're very, very powerful. And they don't go away at conversion because they're acts of our will. They're determinations. I will do this or I won't do that. And so these types of determinations need to be brought to death on the cross through repentance and confession and just laying them down before the Lord. And they're really a place of idolatry in our life where we judge, I'm not going to be taken care of, so I have to take care of myself. And they can sound virtuous, but really they're obstacles of the heart.
And we had that demonstrated particularly powerfully yesterday afternoon with the young girl that was here who'd been hospitalized for 13 years, both in self-harm, also with regard to an eating disorder, and some of the inner vows that she spoke over her life. I can't say no. Was one of those, and I'll never let them hurt me, or I'll never cry.
I'll never cry. And I remember her mom was so amazed as a little girl that she was almost in a daze. She didn't cry. But what that did, it just pushed all the pain down. And like she explained, when she would cut herself as an adult, it was the only way that she could express her pain. And so many times there's physical fruit too. It's not just a spiritual fruit that we look for, it's physical fruit. And many times illnesses, things that are happening in our body are directly connected to those inner vows or the unhealed trauma. Not all of them, but certainly a great percentage.
And then the whole thing with coming through all of that, we have to take ownership of our responses as well as what's happened to us and begin to express that, and ownership of the things that we may be comes out in repentance. Let's talk about that, and then we'll come on to the whole thing of forgiveness.
It has to be a part of it, doesn't it? Because when our heart is wounded and Jesus promises, I'll come in, you open the door, I'll come in and heal you, and He's come to heal the brokenhearted, that's wonderful. That's a part of it, because if we have those bitter roots, it's for a reason. It's because of the wound and because of our response. But sin must be taken to the cross. And so when we sinfully respond, that unforgiveness, the bitterness, the resentments, the wanting somebody to pay, that hardness of heart, that self-protection, and those ways that we've tried to medicate our pain, those things must go to the cross through repentance. And just saying, Lord, I'm sorry. And recognizing in our woundedness how we've hurt other people. It's like we say this, and it's like wounded people wound people. When we're hurt, we hurt people. And so, you know, sometimes people think, oh, people interested in inner healing, it's all about them, and that's
Yeah.
all they ever focus
Yes.
on, and poor me.
Yeah.
But you know what? We pursue inner healing because we hurt people in our woundedness, and because we want so desperately to be more like Christ, and just to live the abundant life that He died for, and to take hold of those things that He's taken hold of for us.